There we go. Well, good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another live session. Today, we are going to have a look at NFP, what is in store for us today, what we can potentially expect from this report, and how we can go about this, and how we can look at potentially executing a couple of trades. So, as always, my name is Francois Duplessis. I am your market analyst for HFM, and I am situated in our offices in Sandton, Johannesburg, South Africa. And I'm going to be your host today, taking you through this absolutely fantastic session. However, as always, please remember that this session here today is all about you. So I would want you to ask me as many questions as possible. We are going to look at some setups. We're going to look at entering a couple of trades, etc. as well. Well, I'm going to be entering trades on my side. What you decide to do on your side is completely up to you. However, as we are getting into today's session, please just allow me the following opportunity. As obviously, for compliance purposes, I just have to bring up the following disclaimer. So I'm going to pop it onto the screen just shortly. Basically, it just says that everything that I'm going to be sharing with you during this session here today is not financial advice, and all I'm going to be sharing with you here today is purely information. As I said, I am going to, on my side, enter some trades based on what the market could potentially do, and then we can take it from there. So let me just pop that off. Okay, so there we go. Now that that's out of the way as well, again, just from my side, welcome to today's session. Let me see if there's any messages. Oh, there's a bunch of messages already coming through. Never miss. Okay, so here we go. USD JPY analysis, please, not a problem. We're going to pop that up now. Um, thank you for that. Is it going to be positive? We're going to have a look at that now as well. Looking forward to see what it's going to be. Watching live, buy gold, gold, buy. Well, I'm loving those comments already. So let me know what your sentiment is. Are you looking at a buy, for instance? Are you trading gold? And if you are trading gold, are you buying or selling? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Um, Boss man, good afternoon. Aslam, welcome to today's session. Are you trading live? Yes, I am going to be entering some trades with all of you shortly. So, yes, we are going to be, or I'm going to be trading. So, again, as I said, this is not a session for financial advice. So, what you do on your side is completely up to you. Um, is gold bullish or bearish? We're going to look at that. Tell us about gold. Okay, gold. Okay, so quite a bit about that. So, let's start off with the first question, which was USD JPY. Okay, and I'm going to look at this chart with all of you shortly. But before we do that, let's actually just have a look at the economic calendar for today. And let's see what we are actually analyzing and what we're actually trading here today. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we can't be trading something that we don't know what we are trading and what we are going to be looking for. So I'm on the right day. No, I'm on next week already. So let me scroll back a bit. Let's go to today. Here we go. Okay. So here we can see now in about 18 minutes time, we are going to see the release of not just the non-farm payroll. So yes, NFP is going to be released, okay? Which, as Andrea stated during this week, she gave you guys this brilliant breakdown of what non-farm payroll is, how it works, etc., etc. So yes, that was there already. This is done and dusted. Today we just want to have a look at, um, how we are going to go about this. Now, yes, we are seeing the release of the non-farm payroll. And as per the economic calendar, we could potentially expect. Wait, let me just pop on my actual screen. There we go. Sorry. So, um, so if we're looking at the economic calendar here, we are expecting, as per the economic calendar, 180,000 new jobs versus the 150,000 from um, last week or last month. Now, this obviously is already, an improvement. This is good because it means that it's a good labor report. It means the labor market is still strong, and this could lead to a stronger dollar. But then we have to just have a look at the rest of the reports as well. Now, if we do look at our average earnings here year on year for November, they are predicting a decline. They're predicting that we could potentially come out around 4%, down from the 4.1% from last month. And this again, this is now where we're going into the weaker dollar. And on top of that, we also have our unemployment rate, which is set to stay steady at 3.9%. Now, if we do have a look at some of the economic indicators that were released during the month that has passed, these economic indicators have been relatively interesting. So, when we do look at NFP, there's a couple of reports that we look at to see, what is this going to be a positive or negative NFP? And at the moment, out of the eight fundamental indicators, now I'm going to just quickly list them for you, but I'm not going to go into detail on every single one. But when we look at preparation for NFP, we look at the ISM service employment data, we look at the consumer confidence report, we look at ADP non-farm payroll, which was released now on Wednesday, we look at the Challenger jobless cuts, we look at the ISM manufacturing employment data, the 4-week jobless claims average, then the 4-week continuing jobless claims average, as well as the Michigan consumer sentiment. Now, having a look at those 8 reports, only the ISM service employment data and the consumer confidence report came out positive. So that's only 2 out of 8 reports came out positive. This means that a total amount of 6 of the 8 reports came out negative. So this already has that indication that we do have a weakening economy. So are we really going to have a stronger data? Are we really going to have a stronger NFP report? And is it going to come out weaker? And in my opinion, based on the data that was released during this month, I'm kind of leaning towards a weaker NFP. So I am truly leaning towards that weaker NFP on my side. And yes, I know the forecast is currently saying 180,000 new jobs. But if we look at the rest of the data that was released during this week or during this month, it doesn't agree. So it's not lining up. And in that regard, then yes, we are then looking at some additional potential movements within the market. So when we go back, so let me pop up my charts here again. So when we start, for instance, looking here at USD JPY, should we get a weaker unemployment um, or employment data being released here today? So let's just add in some support and resistance levels here as well. So should we see that weaker data coming through? Yes, then on this one, we are most probably going to see a weaker dollar, which could lead to further downside on our USD JPY pair. And yesterday, we already saw that big sell off. Today, we did see a bit of a sell off, but there's been somewhat of a correction. And we are currently trading just below that pivot point, which is currently sitting at, let's round it off, 144.3. Now, obviously, if it does come out positive, then yes, then we could potentially rally from here. Now, you can see that there's quite a bit of support and resistance over here. So this could push up all the way to this next resistance level, which is at 146.99. Alternatively, if it comes out as I expect with a bit of softer data, then we could potentially see a further sell off back down to our support here at 141.5, or even further down to 138.7. Now, even on gold, let's pull up gold as well. So let's move over to a gold chart. Now, yes, gold has been consolidating for most of this week thus far. But again, if we are seeing weaker employment data coming out of the US, we could potentially see this rally a little bit higher again, potentially aiming for these 2038 levels. If we do see stronger data, then yes, then we'll probably sell down from here back down to around 2019. These are all options. So, based on everything that I have told you now, I'm going to go through some of the questions again because I see there's a massive amount. So, I don't want to get behind on them. And we've got about 12 minutes left. So, I want to get through as many of them as I possibly can. So, So obviously you can't, Nelson, you can't get the results for NFP prior to 3:30. It only gets released at 3:30. There's no way to see it before the time. Okay. Um okay, I answered that one regarding what direction U scheme is going to head into. So obviously I answered that one. Let's go gold. How about gold? Okay, cool. I already answered all those. Then I have some traders saying here on Facebook, so they're gonna look at, oh, we're going to buy or sell NAS. As I said, that's not something that I can 100% tell you. I can basically just tell you in this regard what the data could potentially show, and based on the data, what we can do. Now, for instance, if we're looking at NASDAQ is a very interesting instrument to look at when it comes to NFP. Why? Because yes, if NFP comes out way above expectation, this can be very, very bad news for NASDAQ because that's going to lead to a stronger dollar. But if NFP comes out way lower, yes, this is going to lead to a weaker dollar, but that's also showing weak employment within the country, which is also bad for the stock market, which could also lead to a sell in NAS. So with NASDAQ specifically, you want it to be as close as possible to the forecast because that's what the market has already priced in. And then from there, it can gradually move in a certain direction. How about gold, bro? So yes, as I said, in my opinion, I'm currently based on the data that I've analyzed and so forth, I'm looking for a weaker dollar today, which would mean we'll most probably I'm going to be looking at some buys on gold. Um, so let me just see here. Okay, it's just a whole lot of gold, 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 gold. Euro USD, um, with regards to Euro USD, there is obviously a very similar movement on Euro USD regarding specifically as well. If we look at how NAS how gold is reacting, you can have a similar movement on um, on Euro USD as well. Okay, so there we go. I've already responded to most of those. Good afternoon. That's from Uganda. Okay, cool. Let me just see what else we got here. Okay. So, okay, I've answered most of those. Generalized questions still. Hi from Indonesia. Hello. There's some more people logging in here from Indonesia. Okay, so today specifically, I see there's another question here, GBP JPY. So GBP JPY, yes, all markets do get affected by NFP, but it's not specifically a market that we focus on with regards to NFP because it's not directly attached to the US markets. And so, yes, it does get affected by the NFP report, but it's not something that we actively trade when we look at these various events. Okay, so what can we look at today? Obviously, when we are looking at these different instruments and so forth. So from Prosperity, could you please stop? I'm not even seeing. Let me just see here. Okay, so when people start talking about manipulation, like it's not even something that we mention here at HFM. Why? Because it's not something that we are into and so forth. So just spamming my comment section with nonsense like that would would get you, blocked off the session. So there's obviously no manipulation when it comes to pending orders, etc., etc. So yes, so for me, looking at, let's start off with Euro USD, for instance. Now, if we do drop this down to a slightly lower time frame, we can see that we're currently trading just between the pivot points and the support. So for me, what I'm going to do here at the moment is I'm going to place a a pending order. So I'm going to place some pending orders, and obviously I'm looking for a buy. Now, why am I placing a pending order? Because at the end of the day, you know what? I don't have a crystal ball. Okay. So I might still actually be wrong. So the pending order kind of prevents me from being wrong, because if I am wrong, then, the market is just not going to move in my direction. So hence why I'm going to be placing some pending orders around that 1.078 level. Okay. As I said, that's where I'm placing my pending orders. And we're going to see how the market moves from this direction onwards, and we're going to see, how the market reacts. We have about 6 minutes left until everything is going to start coming into play. So I would truly love to see, obviously, what you guys think based on the data that I've now shared with you already. you know How do you feel the market is going to react today? Are you agreeing with me that we could potentially have a weaker NFP here today, or are you leaning towards it's going to come out around 180,000 plus? We're going to have a stronger NFP and we're going to have a stronger dollar. What is your opinion on this specifically? Okay, so then I have a very important question here. What is the most important aspect of fundamentals? I need to know when mastering a pair. Now, obviously, as I said today, we're not looking at GBP, JPY, but when we are looking at mastering the fundamentals, you want to master the economy that you are trading. So you want to understand the dynamics within that economy. And the better you understand the dynamics within that economy, the easier it is to trade. Okay, what else do I have here? So, in my opinion, so I'm going to pop this one up here. So here I have Arnold. In my opinion, gold will be a buy. Arnold, I'm tending to agree with you on this. So I'm just trying to wait and see now what's going to happen. My first time watching live HFM, the best broker I've used. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for removing the spammer. Absolutely not a problem. Okay, think dollar index will buy and euro and gold and NAS will sell. 100%. And let's see how this turns out. At the end of the day, we're going to look at the data, we're going to see what's expected from us in that regard, and then we're going to see how we can trade this. So USD JPY, so let's pop that one up as well. So I've got a USD JPY sell here. um I think we are going to have a stronger dollar. Okay, interesting. I see, much appreciated, not a problem. So then I have a few negative dollar, negative DXY. So, okay. If you've got no sound on your side, maybe just check your connection, because obviously everyone else is having sound at the moment. So, and then Wakanda says, let's pop that one up as well. So Wakanda says here we're gonna most probably have wait, that was the wrong one. Uh, so we have here sell for gold. So again, some mixed feelings between the crowd here at the moment. So definitely wanting to see how this turns out, and then how we can go about the various trades that we're going to potentially look at entering here today. So HFM best broker has to go up in the history books. Thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate that. Okay. So again, if you do want to, you know, get your orders and your trades and everything ready, you've got less than a minute left. So, well, less than 2 minutes left. So let's start looking at that. And then let's see how we can go from there onwards. So, okay, so if you're still new and you're still looking at how to start trading, obviously, get in touch with your account manager and let's follow that process on that. Nice information related to the market. Thank you so much, Shiri. So yes, let's see how this actually turns out here today. So let's see how this is going to go. I'm going to switch over to our economic calendar now so that we can also just see the results as it comes out. So switching over to that. Um, let's take that one off. Okay, so it is about to be released. So let's see what is going to come out, and then we're going to look at additional, potential trades from there onwards. So as I stated earlier, if the report comes out almost weaker or stronger, Nasdaq will most probably go down in this regard. But if we have an inline report, Nasdaq will then most probably go up. So, but in general, with regards to the report that we are receiving, we could look at a weaker Nasdaq signal. Okay, so we actually had a much stronger. So we had a much stronger NFP report that came out, coming out at 199,000. So that's 19,000 more than was expected. The average earnings also came out green, came out in line with expectations, and the unemployment rate dropped. So all of this being exceptionally good news for the dollar. And if we are heading over to our charts, you can see here Euro USD absolutely dropped through the floor. Now, gold as well. Gold is selling very strongly here at the moment, and Nasdaq not so much. So let's maybe get a slightly bit of a smaller one. So Nasdaq did spike down, but Nasdaq is already starting to retrace. So as I said, whether it's a good or bad report that we are going to get, and we got a good report now, but still a good report leads to a sell on Nas. So that one came out as expected. Um, but looking at gold, gold pushing down hard, currently trading around 2017. And then as well, if we're looking at Euro USD, also pushing down, currently trading just above that support level that we have now here at 10726. And there's obviously the potential that it could retrace a bit more. But what I'm going to personally be doing is I'm going to start waiting for it to start pushing down a little bit more, potentially to here around support 3. We obviously do have some time still. It's still only the first minute. So there is that potential that it could push all the way here to support 3 and then have a bit of a correction. So I'm just going to wait for that. But yes, now we also have to discuss the topic regarding, what this report means for the rest of the month and what this report means going forward. Because a extremely strong job reports like the one we just got, which shows, stronger NFP data, it shows stronger unemployment claims, stronger average earnings, as well as a drop in the unemployment. All of this is indicating towards a stronger dollar, which means that the Federal Reserve has that slightly bit more room for the potential to increase their interest rate or just keep it higher for longer. I don't think we'll really see any more increases, but keeping it higher for longer. So in that regard, this is leading to a very interesting dynamic. Now, obviously, we're not going to need these orders anymore, so I can just take them off. Um, but yes, this is going to lead to a very interesting dynamic. going into December, going into 2024, because of the fact that now this is still giving the Federal Reserve some room to keep their um, interest rates higher for longer. And this can obviously still lead to a much, much stronger dollar consistently. So, yes, but obviously, as you can see now, we are currently bouncing on the support. Now, even looking at Euro USD just on a short term, if we break that support, there's that potential for the sell down here to that support 3. But if it does pull back all the way to above that first support level, we could see a potential, 290, 300 per buy back up to our pivot point. Gold as well sold very, very nicely, now trading just below that first support level over there. And again, if it stays here and we could potentially get a close on this candle around this level, we couldn't see an additional sell potentially down to around this 2009. So that's obviously an option there as well. Nasdaq still pushing down quite nicely as well, just now trading below that pivot point. So still having the potential to push down even further, maybe to around this 15,850 level. Freddie, I'm going to ask you to maybe just elaborate on your question for me regarding how do you calculate gold? What do you mean by how do you calculate gold? Um, will you maybe just elaborate on that one for me a little bit? Um, Banjo, absolute pleasure. Thank you for that comment. Really appreciate that. So thank you so much for that. Um, Chan, thank you for the little thumbs up there as well. Appreciate that coming through from you. So um, just waiting for some more comments to come through on your side. So yes, um, leading now into obviously the rest of the month in 2024, we can now potentially expect a bit of a correction on gold because obviously we have had this massive rally. Now, if let's go to a slightly larger time frame, so and so we've had this massive rally here in gold at the for the last few months, and even adding our fib levels in here all the way to that extremely high spike that we got, which was around that 2147, almost 2150 level. We have now pushed down and we are now just above this 38% fib level. So this being an absolute key support. So just dropping down so you can also see this. So here we can see this specific support level where we are currently at. This is absolutely, absolutely key. So yes, we do have those shorter support levels that could come into play here, but on the larger time frame, if this support falters and this breaks, and especially if we get a break on gold below around that 2005 level, we absolutely have the potential then for this thing to sell all the way down to about that 50 fib, which is back down at 1973. So all these, offer some great trading opportunities for us going into our trading week next week as well. Obviously we're going into the weekend now, so no trading over the weekends, but definitely going into our week next week, there's a lot more opportunities within the market now to see how these markets could potentially move. So Jay, yes, we do offer lessons. We do this absolutely free of charge. So all you need to do is just head over to our website and you're going to go here to tools and education, and then you're going to go down here to trading classes. And once you are trading classes, you'll see it pops you out at this screen over here. You're going to just choose English, go next, online. So everything is done online and they're all live, by the way. And then you can just choose which one of the sessions you want to attend. They happen Monday to Friday. And then you can make your booking and you'll get a link and everything. And then you can jump in on one of those specific sessions. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so I did answer that one. Why on some brokers do they have reject? Why on some brokers do they reject your positions even though your margin is enough, particularly on these type of events? So obviously I can't speak for other brokers, but in general there are rules to trading these various events, and that's why you guys would have seen as well that I placed my orders about 5 minutes before the time, because once we get to that 1 2 minutes before the time, the order won't take. But obviously you saw all my orders were taken, but like I said, I placed my orders 5 minutes before the time because the market doesn't really move that much that first 5 minutes before the event takes place. So everything kind of stagnates, markets prepare for the report, and then you can place all your orders. And then once you've placed all your orders, then your orders will be filled once triggered. Now obviously I was looking for a buy because I was looking for a weaker dollar. That obviously now didn't happen. So my trades didn't execute, but that still means that I had a good day, because whenever you don't have losses, it's still a good day. So as per my trading strategy, I did exactly what I needed to do, and placed my orders, looked for my trades. Trades didn't plan out as expected, but I didn't make any losses. So, it's still a good Friday. I can go have a nice weekend. It's not that I'm going to be upset with myself because the fact that now, my trading balance looks a little bit less going into next week. So, in that regard, obviously just plan your orders accordingly. Don't try and put them 30 seconds before the trade, before the event comes out. And, everything should be fine from there on forward. Complete waterfall in gold. I'm 100% sure of that. So, dropping this back down to like a 15-minute time frame. Yep, this is still, well, we still just below that first support. So, we obviously need to break this larger 38.2% FOB, and you can see it literally touched that, pulled back. So if we don't break that specific level, there's still some opportunities within the market as well. Well, that's great. Next time I'm gonna trade live with the broker. Absolutely fantastic. Will this NFP analysis happen every NFP? This NFP analysis does happen every NFP. So I actually do this with all of you every single month. So this does happen every single month. So just join us every single month for this. Um, NFP is good. Face blue, smiling. Thanks. Let's just see here. I'm seeing some people sending me messages now as well. NFP, such a surprise. Yeah, it was actually a bit of a surprise. It did come out quite a bit higher. So yes, there is that. So what's the setup for Euro USD? Well, let's go back over there and let's have a quick look. Okay, so Euro USD is actually pulling back quite significantly at the moment. So, as we are trading it on the lower time frame, this is still within the scope of this specific event. We did break through, we broke all the way down to our second support level. Now, if we do break back higher and we do close above the support level, and remember, I'm on a 5 minute time frame, so also remember the accuracy does differ on lower time frames. So, but if we actually get a close above that support, there is a potential for a little bit of a buy back up to the pivot point, which is around that 1.079 level. And but if we do find some rejection here, then we can definitely have a look for, a continuation of this downward movement, which is about 33 pips back down to, let's call it 1.073, and potentially even further down to that next support level, as we could potentially see an additional stronger dollar coming into the market. I took sells on gold, got into some deep profits. And I used a sell limit. So obviously you got into your sells on gold. So well done on that. Obviously generated profit, placed your orders, and as it triggered those orders, you took those profits and then made additional profits. So Atar, very, very well done on that. Um, Let me see what else we have here. I am a beginner and want to have a better understanding of the markets. What can I do on my own without much supervision? Um, So as I said, you can join our coaching sessions where we'll take you through everything, we'll assist you, and we'll grow your knowledge regarding trading. So all you need to do is head over to our website, go to the trading classes, and then RSVP for those sessions. Where can I find that site? So JD, it's literally hfm.com. That's it. So hfm.com. Um, so it has nothing to do with my leverage or anything. I'm guessing this goes back to those orders, and the answer to that question is no. So fantastic. Well, traders, I think we're going to call it a day. And I think, we've, so as you can see here, now we're pushing above. So if we actually could do close around here, we could potentially, push all the way higher to that next resistance, which is our pivot point. So definitely some opportunity coming into the market there. Oh, my soul, gold pulled back extreme. Who's that trader? Atar. My man, you must be in a massive amount of profits right now. So super well done on that because yes, it obviously pulled back really, really strong on this. So super well done on that one as well. And but yeah, big pullback within the markets there. Euro USD pushing higher now as well. Nasdaq also bounced. So just want to see if there's anything that we might have missed that could have led to nothing really much, hey? Everything came out pretty standard, all kind of good news for the dollar. So nothing exceptional that we might have missed. Obviously, we do still have some reports coming out later this afternoon. So, there is some anticipation for that as well. Let me just see what else do we have here. Yes, and we do trade CPI live as well. I normally have the honor of being joined by my colleague Andrea, and we normally do CPI together. So it's a bit more of a conversation instead of just me talking. So I do enjoy those obviously a lot more when I'm not, all by my lonesome. But obviously today NFP is the one thing that I do like trading by myself. So hence why I'm here with all of you today. At least I wasn't 100% alone. I had about 400 people um, trade with me today, so I wasn't 100% by my own. So thank you so much for joining me today. But as I said, I think I'm going to call it a day right there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for the amazing participation that we had. May you all have a super profitable day further and have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all in one of our sessions next week. Always remember to do your research on your trades that you are looking to execute, and apply proper patience, and this is just some of the key elements to a good profitable trader. I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.